It was a night like any other when I found myself cruising down a desolate stretch of highway. The moon hung high in the sky, casting an eerie glow on the empty road ahead. The hum of the engine was the only sound breaking the silence of the night. As I drove, my grip on the wheel tightened, a sense of unease creeping over me. The darkness seemed to swallow the road, and the trees lining the highway swayed ominously in the wind. Suddenly, my headlights flickered, then died, plunging me into complete darkness. Panic surged through me as I wrestled with the steering wheel, trying to bring the car to a stop. With trembling hands, I reached for my phone, hoping its feeble light could guide me. But as I turned it on, the screen remained blank, the battery drained. Heart pounding, I stepped out of the car, hoping to find some sign of life or a passing vehicle. The night air was thick and suffocating, and a shiver ran down my spine. I called out into the darkness, but my voice echoed back at me, amplifying the sense of isolation. In the distance, I noticed a faint light, a beacon of hope. I sprinted towards it, the sound of my own footsteps echoing in my ears. As I drew closer, I realized it was a solitary gas station, its fluorescent lights buzzing in the quiet night. Relief washed over me as I approached, but my elation was short-lived. The gas station appeared abandoned, the windows smeared with grime and the doors creaking ominously in the wind. I cautiously pushed the door open, the hinges protesting with a haunting screech. Inside, the air was stale, and the flickering fluorescent lights cast eerie shadows on the grimy walls. Behind the counter stood an old, weathered man. His eyes bored into mine with an unsettling intensity, and a chill ran down my spine. I tried to ask for help, but my words caught in my throat as I noticed something peculiar about him. His reflection in the dirty mirror behind him didn't quite match his movements. His smile seemed to linger a moment too long, his gaze too piercing. I stumbled back, knocking over a display of snacks, and bolted out of the gas station. Fear propelled me forward as I sprinted back towards my car, my heart pounding in my chest. But when I reached the spot where I left it, my car was gone, vanished into thin air. Panic surged through me once more as I scanned the empty expanse around me. The gas station stood silent in the distance, its flickering lights mocking my desperation. I was alone, stranded in the middle of nowhere with no car, no phone, and no one in sight. A cold gust of wind carried whispers that seemed to echo my name. I turned in every direction, trying to discern where the sound originated. Shadows danced around me, and the darkness felt suffocating, closing in like an ominous shroud. I stumbled backward, tripping over something in the darkness. As I regained my balance and looked down, I saw an old, weathered photograph half buried in the dirt. It was a picture of me, standing in front of the same gas station, but the date on the corner was from decades ago. My mind reeled with confusion and terror. How was this possible? Had I stumbled into some twisted time loop? Or was this a malevolent force toying with me, luring me into its twisted game? A sense of hopelessness washed over me, and I sank to my knees, surrounded by an endless void of darkness. The whispers grew louder, mocking and taunting, as if the night itself reveled in my fear. And then, as suddenly as it all began, I felt a sharp jolt, and everything went black. When I awoke, I was back in my car, the engine purring softly. Confusion clouded my mind as I looked around, trying to make sense of what had just transpired. Was it all a dream? Or had I truly experienced something otherworldly? I revved the engine and sped away, the image of the gas station fading into the rearview mirror. But the echoes of that night lingered, a chilling reminder of the inexplicable horrors that lurk in the darkness.